Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl, Audrey Codner from ACCUPLACER Tutoring. Hopefully you guys are having a lovely Thursday. My goodness, the week is going by rather quickly. So what we're going to be working on today is the segment and angle addition. Okay, so this is a part that is seen in the GED, also the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, most of the assessments that they deal with geometry, not only just area and perimeter or circumference if you're dealing with circles, but they also do this thing called segment or angle addition. So I basically am getting this form from Math Monks, so you can easily get this off the internet. It's called Math Monks. There you go at the very top. So I'm just basically using their information for this quick review. So if you want to do any extra practice, you can take a look at Math Monks. So, and of course I don't get paid for that. Why not? So let's get started. So when I look at this, they're saying if AC equals 43, find AB. So if we're looking, we have a segment. We have two segments. We have segment AB and segment BC that's connected to the whole entire segment, which is AC. So we're actually trying to use our components of algebra to help solve what AB is going to be. But in order for us to figure that out, we need to figure out what X is. So with the given information, they're saying from A to C, that whole length is 43. So the best way for me to do this is I'm going to add these two parts. So what it means, I'm going to do AB plus segment BC, and it's going to equal the whole thing, which is segment AC. So now let's substitute. So what's going in for AB is our statement 9x plus 2. What's going to go in for BC is 5, because that's the length from B to C. Then we're going to write down what AC is, which is 43. So now, instead of just looking at it graphically, we're actually looking at it algebraically. So let me see if I can grab my little piece of paper so we can kind of hide what's going on up here so we can focus on what's happening down below. So if we take a look, we have 9x plus 2 plus 5 equals 43. So this is the part that gets a lot of people. Everyone's like, oh, okay, you just take 5 and you subtract 5 on both sides, and then you subtract the 2 on both sides. Why do that? Why not just combine those two first? So now we have 9x plus 7 is equal to 43. Okay, so all we really wanted to do was combine those like terms. So now, since we're solving for x, we want to isolate our x as much as possible. So our next step is to get rid of this 7, move it to the other side of the equal sign. So when we do that, we're going to subtract 7 on both sides. So 7 minus 7, that gives me 0. But we don't need the 0 because we still have this 9x on the left-hand side. So we can just bring that down. So now we're going to do 43 minus 7. So 43 minus 7, that gives me 36. And if 9x equals 36, what we have to do next is divide both sides by 9. And I'm going to put it over here since I'm running out of room. So 9 divided by 9, that gives me 1, or 1x, or just x. 36 divided by 9, that gives me 4. So this is not our official answer. This is what x equals. But if we want to find, as they said up here, they want you to find AB. So that means we're going to take that 4 and plug it in for the x. So it's going to look like this. Rewrite it, so we have 9x plus 2. And instead of the x, we're going to put that 4 that we just found. 9 times 4 gives me 36. And we have our 36 plus 2. And 36 plus 2, that gives me a total of 38. So since they want us to know what AB is, we're going to say it's 38 units because they did not give us the type of units that we need. Okay. So that's with our segment. So what happens if we want to look at it as an angle? Very much the same. So we're going to add the 2 smaller angles for it to equal our larger angle. So it gives us a little bit of information. They're saying if AC equals 42, so that means from here to here, the length of that is 42, whatever the units are. And they're saying that AB, A to B, is equal to BD. So they're saying the length of AB is looking at BD. So we're not looking at the angles, we're looking at the lengths. So they want us to find what AB is. So whatever's happening here at BC, no one cares. But the key part of this is this part right here. They're saying that AB is equal to BD. So that means these two sides are going to be the same lengths. So since they're going to be the same lengths, again, we need to know what x is. So why not make them equal to each other? So I'm going to put it over here. So we have 2x plus 5 equals 3x plus 3. Okay. Yes, Anthony, I told you that they do not honor the discount. Nope, it was only at that other place. All right, so now we have setting them equal to each other. So we want to solve for x. So that means we want to put our x on one side or the other side of the equal sign. Now, a lot of us like to just deal with positive numbers. So this is what some people do. You could subtract the 2x on both sides. So 2x minus 2x, that will give me 0. But we're not putting the 0 down because we still have the 5 remaining on that left side of the equal sign. So now we have 3x minus 2x, that gives me 1x, or just simply x. And then I bring down my plus 3. So since we're solving for x, that means I need to isolate my x. So this plus 3 needs to move to the other side. So I have to do the opposite, the inverse. So the inverse of addition is subtraction. Positive 3, negative 3 gives me 0. So now 5 minus 3, that gives me 2. And we bring down our x. So 2 equals x, and if you want to say x equals 2, you can go right ahead. So we know now what x equals, but they want us to find the length of AB. So that means we're taking this 2x plus 5, but instead of an x, we're putting our 2 in. And the 2 came from our answer of 2. That's what happened. So now, 2 times 2, that gives me 4. So 4 plus 5, that gives me 9. So the length of AB is going to be 9 units. So the easiest way to remember how to do this is, 1, take a look at the information that they're giving us. See that extra, like what AC was? We didn't need that. Because do we know what BC is? No. So that was a little bit of extra information. But this part where they said that AB is going to equal BD, that is the key for us to know that we're going to set both of those expressions equal to each other. Go ahead, solve for x, and then they want us to find AB. So the length of AB is represented by 2x plus 5. So what I did was take our answer of 2, substitute it in for the x. Go ahead, 2 times 2 gives us 4. 4 plus 5 gives us 9. Okay. All right. So here we go with another one. Let's see if I can angle it this way. So now they just want you to solve for x. Okay, they just want you to solve for x. So once you solve for x, then they want us to find AB, which is from here to here, and BC, which is from here to here. So they're giving us their 2 parts. And those 2 parts, if I add them together, it will equal that 1 whole. So if I want to say, all right, well, AB plus BC will equal the whole thing, which is AC. Let's replace. So we have 3x minus 8 plus BC, which is 2x, equals my AC, which is 27. So first thing we want to do is we want to combine our like terms. Okay? Don't go shuffling things all over the place first. Notice, here's my equal sign. If I cover this up, I have basically 3x and 2x. There are 2 x's on the same side of the equal sign. So when they're on the same side, just go ahead and combine them. So this will give us our 5x minus 8 equals my 27. Okay. So now we want to solve for x. So that means we should be moving that minus 8. In order for me to move the minus 8, I'm going to have to add 8 to both sides. So negative 8 plus 8 cancels out, but my 5x is still here, so I don't need that 0 as a placeholder. So 27 plus 8, that gives me 35. Now, if 5x equals 35, after you divide both sides by 5, not by 5x, by 5, because we're trying to get x by itself, we're going to get x is equal to 7. Okay. Right. There we go. But are we done? Not with this problem, we're not. We need to find AB and BC. So that means we need to take that answer of 7 and plug it in for the x's inside of their own expression. So I know for AB, I'm going to put it up here. So I know that AB, that equals my 3 times 7 minus 8. Okay. So 3 times 7, that'll give you your 21. And 21 minus 8, oops, grabbing the wrong pen. That'll give you your 13. So that's your AB. Okay, so your AB is going to be 13. Jealous. Thank you. BC, we're just plugging the 7 in for the x. So it's 2 times 7. Well, that means that gives you 14. And that's what BC is. Okay. So now, let's take it as an angle. So we got the measure of angle LOM. So here's LOM right here. They're saying that's 37 degrees. And they want us to find the measure of MON, which is right here. But they're also giving us something. Okay, they're also giving us something. Okay. So they're giving us this 90 degree. Anytime you see this box, they're giving us 90 degrees. Yes, maybe Jonathan. So there are complementary angles. So complementary angles are two angles add together to equal 90 degrees. So in order for us to find this, we can get our x plus our 37 is equal to 90. Okay. We're trying to figure out what the measure of that angle is. So hopefully you're seeing it by 90 minus your 37. So if I subtract 37 on both sides, you will see that x is going to equal 53 degrees. Okay. So I know it's 90 degrees, Andrea, by this little small box indication. Okay. Anytime I see Let me see if I zoom in a little bit more for you. Anytime I see this little box, that means 90 degrees. Okay, it's a right angle. Yes, Desiree. Okay. You're welcome. Yeah. I know, everybody likes to be technical. All right. So let me unzoom just a hair so you can see the next one. Okay. So for this one, they're giving us a little bit more. So they're saying the measure of angle AOC. Now, the way that you read angles, remember, your vertex is always going to be that middle letter. So here's A, here's O, here's C. So they're saying the measure of AOC is congruent to the measure of BOD. Okay? And BOD is 90 degrees. So if measure of BOD is going to be 90 degrees, that means AOC is also going to be 90 degrees. So the measure of AOB equals 45 degrees. So this angle right here, that's 45 degrees. And what they want us to do is find what the measure of BOC is and find the measure of COD. Well, let's break it down step by step. So I'm going to cover this part up and I'm going to turn it to the point where it's going to kind of look like a right angle. Okay? Yes. There you go. So we can look at it this way with a complementary angle. So if we know that AOC, which is this whole angle here, is going to be 90 degrees, and this angle here, AOB, is 45. 90 minus 45 would give me 45. And if I turn and cover up, especially for my visual people, if this is going to be 45, here we go again. This is also a 90-degree angle because it even says so here. The measure of BOD is 90 degrees. Here's BOD. So if that's 45, that means this, let me change colors, is also 45 degrees. Okay? Because we have a set of complementary angles. So the measure of angle BOC was 45 degrees. And the measure of COD is also 45 degrees. Now here's the thing, Gail. With geometry, you can't use your eyes. You're like, oh, that doesn't look equal. You always go by the information that they give you and you run with that. Okay? So that's the one thing about geometry. That's why you're always doing those proofs, you know, the statements and the reasoning. You're always proving that something is what it is. That's why you do a lot of conditional statements, the if-then statements. Okay? The converse, the inverse, the contrapositive. You're always proving that something is that. You can't just say, well, it looks like a triangle. Well, it looks like a square. Prove it. So that's the one thing about geometry. It's all about proving. Okay, it's all about proofs. Hey, Cindy. Oh, good. I'm glad you did. Okay. So it's never, you always have to prove it. Okay. And I liked how you said that, Sailor. It's a visual representation. Thank you. All right. Now, I'm going to leave this one for you to try. Okay, think about what we were doing. So I want you to find ST. So ST is this expression, that's an x minus 6. TU is 2x minus 8. And the whole thing of SU is 10. They want you to find what is the measurement of ST as an answer. As a number, not just as an expression, as a number. Okay, so if you can hold your answers, I'll greatly appreciate that. Now, are you thinking about going back, Snacks? Snacks, why you say you're too old? You're not too old. You got a brain, right? You got intentions, right? Okay. I used to teach a GED class. The oldest person I had was 72. All right. Let's go. Do not believe your excuses. Okay, darling? All right. Okay, let's see what you guys got for answers. What do we have? And if you're not sure, you can put a question mark. Okay. Hey, Indy, how are you? Okay, so Justin's saying 24. It is 45. Okay, Andrew's saying 2. Okay, now baby, good. So your GED with the math section. Okay, awesome. Congratulations, Jay. I'm so proud of you. Keep going. Okay, Sailor's saying 8. I'm doing all right. Sage is saying 20. Okay. You believe incorrectly. So Ethiopia is saying 12. Okay, I'm getting very interesting answers. Getting some interesting answers. But let's see. Okay, put it up there, guys. Put up your answers. Let's see what you got. Hey, Big Al. Okay, the Bratwurst saying 2. Okay. And again, if you're not sure and you're like, I think this is my answer, put it up. Guys, this is not Squid Games. You're not going to get offed if you do. Okay. All right. Okay. So G build says 2. All right. All right. So I got 2. I got a 9. I got a 4. I got another 2. I got a 12. I got a 20. I got an 8. I have a 24. Okay, I got a 44 or just a 4. All right. Let's take a look. Okay. You always have your 2 parts equaling your whole. So that means ST plus TU will equal SU. So ST, that is x minus 6, plus TU, which is 2x minus 8, equals SU, which is 10. Okay. So now, we have most of our like terms on one side. Okay. So we have x, which is a positive x. This negative sign goes with the 6. So it makes this 6 into a negative 6. So if you don't see a number in front of the x, it's a 1. So 1 plus 2 gives me 3x. Okay, so we're taking care of them. Now we have negative 6 minus 8. Both of them are negative. Okay, they're the same signs. So we're going to keep the sign and combine the 6 and the 8, which that gives us 14. And bring down the equals 10. From here, we're going to add 14 on both sides. So we have negative 14 plus 14. That gives me my 0. So I don't need the 0 as a placeholder, so I can bring down my 3x equals 10 plus 14. That gives me 24. And I want to divide both sides by 3. So my x is going to equal 8. Okay. But that's not what they're asking for. They're asking for us to find ST. So we know that ST is equal to x minus 6. We found x, which is this 8. So we're going to replace that x with an 8 minus 6. And 8 minus 6 will give us a big whopping 2. This is our official answer. Okay, that's our official answer. Okay, hey Sharon, how are you? Well, that's why I made sure I read the problem before I let you guys go. All right, thank you, Andrea. Okay. Hello, Discipline. How are you? Okay, that's all right. So ST is 2. Like I say, pictures don't match. Exactly. So that's why you always don't just look at the pictures. Look at the information. Okay. Oh, I knew. This is your other thing. I had a feeling. Addicted. Okay. Yes, this is geometry. Okay, let's go through. Got one more page, and then we are done. All right, so this one says solve for x, and they gave us information. They say that AB is equal to BC. So that means AB, this segment, is equal in length to BC. So that means we're going to do what with those two statements, expressions? Okay. Okay, so since they're both equal to each other, they're saying that this segment AB is the same length as BC, so you make it equal to each other. Okay. All right. So, if you want, we can subtract the 5x on both sides if we wish. And when we subtract the 5x on both sides, we will get a negative 2x plus 4 is equal to negative 6. Then we will have to subtract 4 on both sides. Then you have negative 2x is equal to negative 10. Once we get that, we divide both sides by the negative 2. And then don't forget, a negative divided by a negative will give me a positive. So like some of you guys mentioned, it is a positive 5. Why not subtract 3 so it don't have a negative? You're going to get the same answer, Oakley. Yeah. So you'll have, now we're looking at the angles. So they're saying the measure of angle POR, which is the whole thing. Here's P, here's O, here's R. So the measure of that whole angle is 120 degrees. The measure of angle QOR is 31 degrees. They want us to find the measure of POQ. So if the whole entire thing is 120 degrees, and QOR is 31 degrees, so I'm seeing some 89s, just an 89, it's not 45. We got 89, Justin, Alvin saying 61. Discipline, yep, we're going to subtract those two. Good. Let me see if anyone said it earlier. Okay, Alexander saying 67. Okay, so if the whole angle is 120, just this part right here is 31. And we're looking for this angle right here. Okay, so you're taking your 120 minus your 31, which gives us your, because we got to borrow to make that into a 10, that gives you 89 degrees. So if the measure, if the measure of MPN is 85 degrees, so the measure of this angle is 85 degrees. And the measure of NPO, this angle right here, if that's 20 degrees, they want us to find the measure of MPO. Okay, good Kaya, good Jess, good Matthew. It's not really memorizing a rule. It's just two parts equaling one whole. Okay. There you go, G Built, Justin. Okay. Okay, so since we're looking at the whole entire thing, all you're doing is taking your 85 plus your 20, and this gives you 105. So it is 105 degrees. Okay. All right, give this one a try. So AB is 32 degrees. AC is 46 degrees. Or measurements, I should say, not degrees. What's BC? You don't need to convert to radians. Okay, so Kai is 14. Okay, so 12, 14, Jess 14, Bree 14, Justin 14, 22, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14. Okay, yep, because that's all you're doing. You're taking the whole, which is the 46, minus the part, which is 32, and that will help you find the other part, which is 14 units. Okay. All right, yep. That's all it is. My son laughing. How are you? All right. So now for number 5. If D is the midpoint of CE, find each of the segments. So they want you to find what X is, what CD is going to represent, what D is going to represent, and what CE is going to represent. What does it mean that D is the midpoint? Yeah, I put units at the end, Jonathan, because we don't know what the units are. If it's inches, centimeters, just put units. halfway, the center, you're given equal parts. Yes. So that means exactly. So CD is going to equal DE. Okay, so it's going to look like the first one that we did. So measure of CD is 3x minus 9. Measure of DE is 2x plus 8. Okay, go ahead and solve for x. Okay, so it's 17, negative 1, 16 on both sides. You can do that. You can do that, Darren. So Darren is 17, Kaya is 17. I want to say addicted. There you go. 17. Coco 17. Saying 16. Aroma 17. 15x. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Justin. Sharon saying negative 1, 17. You changed the answer to 17. Okay. Okay. So if I subtract this 2x on both sides, and if I add this 9 on both sides, the x's will cancel here, the 9's will cancel there. Then I got 3x minus 2x, that gives me x, equals 8 plus 9, that gives me 17. So now for me to find CD or DE, because both of them are going to be the same, I plug it in. So it's 3 times 17 minus 9. Okay. So we got our 51 minus 9. And 51 minus 9, that gives us a 42. So since D is my midpoint, that means CD is going to be 42 units. And DE is also going to be 42 units. Okay, so if it's a midpoint, that means this and this is exactly the same. So CE is basically adding these two up, which gives you good. Okay. Good. All right. If the measure of angle RTU is 91 and the measure of RTS is 71, find the measure of STU. So they're telling you RTU, that means that whole entire thing measures 91 degrees. RTS, this angle's 71 degrees. So what's the measure of STU. There you go. Good. Nice one. Good. Yep, because it was 91 minus 71 gives you what's left over, which is 20 degrees. All right, everyone. Excellent job today. So that's what I got for you guys today. If you want, not even sure if I should even mention it, but if you want, I do have a YT channel. If you want to find the recording will be available as soon as I can get it released from TikTok, and we're gonna put it there. All right. Okay. So you actually learned today. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit of something. So just in case someone wants to block this account or destroy it, that's fine. One less thing I have to do for today. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Bye now.